Hey friends, welcome back. Since Halloween is about treats, I had a thought. What if instead of candy, we gave out books? Right? Good thought. That's what I thought. Today I'm sharing the books I'd hand out to trick-or-treaters depending on their age and their spooky vibes. So grab your pumpkin spice drink and let's hand out some bookish treats. So the first section we're going to look at is for the middle grade magic. The middle graders who love either having spooky chills down their spine, or they just want some magic in their lives. The first book I'm going to share with everyone is Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. I have not read this one yet. However, this gives me the vibes of Kiki's Delivery Service so much for the cover and in general what I have started to read with my son, which was, we're not going to talk about how long ago that was, and then we just stopped. So requirements to pass the novice quest: 1, help your town do good all around. 2, live there for 1 moon, don't leave too soon. And 3, fly by broomstick, the easiest trick. So this has to do with Eva Evergreen, who is determined to earn her rank in the Novice Witch before her 13th birthday. However, she could possibly lose her magic forever. For most young witches and wizards, it's a simple test, except for her. I'm excited to read this, but I really do think this would be a really nice handout for trick-or-treaters, especially if you are a witch. Oh my gosh. See, okay, we got the chapter 4. I just found my bookmark. Also, if you go to hand out a book to trick-or-treaters, include a bookmark. The next one is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, and I think I've read this twice now, and I'm still actually remembering what this is about. So this has to do with Cassidy Blake's life is full of ghosts. So ever since Cass almost drowned, she did drown, but she doesn't like to think about it. She can pull back the veil that separates the living from the dead and enter the world of spirits. Her best friend is even a ghost. And this would be perfect for the ghost lovers, the not too scary, but like give me a little fright trick-or-treaters out there. The last one in this list is Nightbooks by J.A. White. This is also a Netflix movie, and I'll tell you right now, this would give you chills, especially the movie, but like this would give you chills down your spine. This one has to do with a boy who gets trapped by a witch who loves anything like story-wise, and he's got to find a way out. And it can get a little scary. Alex has loved scary stories his whole life. He never imagined he'd be trapped in one. When Alex sneaks out in the middle of the night, he becomes imprisoned by witch Natasha in her magical apartment. Another child in the apartment, Yasmin, assures Alex that she's already tried every means of escape. Only Natasha holds... Why did I say it that way? Natasha holds the bone keys that lead back to their world, and she'll never part from them. So like it does get a little creepy, and after reading this, watch the movie. More chill than your spine. The next section we have is the YA trick-or-treat reads. So these are the young adult books that I feel any teens would have a good time with, and love, if you do love like dark aesthetic or like emotional depth, we have The Dead and the Dark by Courtney Gould. And this one is really, really good, actually. I remember reading this and I was just like stunned throughout the book. The dark has been waiting and it won't stay hidden any longer. Something is wrong in Snakebite, Oregon. Teenagers are disappearing, some turning up dead, the weather isn't normal, and all fingers point to TV's most popular ghost hunters who have just come to town. They have to figure out what's going on with these missing teens. I believe this is LGBTQ, the mystery around what's happening with these teenagers, and if the local TV, what are they? Ghost hunters, if the local ghost hunters are actually the villains or not. So this one is a good one for the young adult era. Next one is Gallant from V.E. Schwab. Yes, we have to have another V.E. Schwab. Don't come for me. So this one is a little bit of like a hunting ghost story, and it has to do with Olivia Pryor. The shadows are not real. The dreams can never hurt you. You will be safe as long as you stay away from Gallant. All her life, Olivia Pryor has wondered who she truly is and where she belongs. Her only clue is a slim, battered journal. Her mother's journal full of entries that seem to show that she was unraveling and drawings that look like blots of ink. Until Olivia notices a hand, a door, a bloom, a skull. Then a letter beckons Olivia home to Gallant, the one place her mother's journal warns her never to go. Olivia goes anyway. Of course she does. What she finds is her last living relative and her family's manor, a manor with a ballroom and a sitting room and a study and a sprawling, vibrant garden and the crumbling ruin of a garden wall with an iron door, a door she must never open. But no one at Gallant sent Olivia that letter, and no one will tell her what haunts her cousin's dreams, what happens to her mother, or what lies on the other side of the wall. Did the shadows call Olivia home? What will they ask for in return? It's like so creepy. It is a really good read though. And I recommend, especially to the young adults, because like this will eat you alive, not literally. And the last one for the section is Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. I was so emotional with this one. This was a very emotional read. And yeah, it's literally a dark fairy tale setting vibe that has eerie secrets and has like this autumn chill feel. I say that and you look at the cover and you're like, Donna, that looks like spring or summer. Not inside. Inside is very dark. Dark and eerie. Like Tor.com has said, a chilling tale about what lurks in the shadows of the people you think you know. The heart's desire always comes with a price. Ellery Downing is waiting for something to happen. Life in isolated Amity Falls, surrounded by impenetrable forest, has a predictable sameness. Her days are filled with tending to her family's beehives, chasing after her sisters, and dreaming of bigger things, while her twin Samuel is free to roam as he wishes. Early settlers fought off monstrous creatures in the woods, and whispers that creatures still exist keep the Downings and their neighbors from venturing too far. When some townsfolk go missing on a trip to fetch supplies, a heavy unease settles over the falls. So this one is very, very good for like wanting that eerie feel during the Halloween time. And I recommend. Not just for young adults, okay? But I recommend. The next section is adult Halloween treats. Not too adult. These are roughly pretty decent adult treats. And no candy can compete with these. So the first one we have is the Ex Hex by Erin Sterling. And like, I'm sorry, but you want witches, you want a boy to crave, you want a magical spell that goes wrong and now your ex is like cursed and now you have to fix him. Yeah. Never mix vodka and witchcraft. 9 years ago, Vivienne Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka. I can never say that word. It's okay. Weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. Sure, Vivi knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchard hayride scented candle on hand, she isn't worried it will cause him anything more than a bad hair day or two. That is until Reese Penhollow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts, and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Graves Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall fair turns dangerously wrong, with one issue after another. Striking Reese, Vivi realizes her silly little Ex Hex may not have been so harmless after all. This is like so cute, and it kind of like is like a rom-com, and it's funny, and just you need to read it if you haven't. The next book is for your vampire girlies, your vampire people, just if you love vampires. This one may not be for everyone though. I do know some people that have DNF'd it, but I absolutely loved the shit out of it. And that was A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I'm so hoping that if you read this, you love it. Okay? Like, I kind of want to reread this now. A dizzying nightmare of a romance that will leave you aching, angry, and ultimately hopeful. This is my last love letter to you, though some would call it a confession. Saved from the brink of death by a mysterious stranger, Casadenia is transformed from a medieval peasant into a bride fit for an undying king. But when Dracula draws a cunning aristocrat and a starving artist into his web of passion and deceit, realizes that her beloved is capable of terrible things. Literally, it is based off of the first bride of Dracula, and I just, yes. And the last book for this section is The Silent Patient. We obviously need a psychological thriller thrown in here, especially for our adults. We got you. We got you. This one had me speechless. I stayed up all night to read this book. Like, I just loved it. Alicia Brenson's life is seemingly perfect. A famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer who lives in a grand house overlooking a park in one of London's most desirable areas. One evening, her husband, Gabriel, returns home late from work, and Alice shoots him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. Speechless. It also has to do with this guy. I think his name's Theo. He literally is like a therapist and he wants to know more of her story and like gets obsessed and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy this one as well. And for the last section, it's for my adult trick or tease. Like literally forget chocolate. Forget that. Forget the chocolate, the meltiness of it and stuff like that. These stories will melt for a different reason. And once you see these books, you'll understand. You'll understand. And you'll be like, oh my God, yes, Donna. Yes, I agree. And if you don't agree, then please give me some trick or tease books because like I need some more. First up, we have Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. I almost said Wiener. Why? First up, we have Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver, and this is a perfect trick or tease for my lovely serial killer girlies or just random people who love serial killers out there. This one has to do with what are their names? Sloane and Rowan, and they're both serial killers and they play a game that must have a winner. And they go around literally killing other serial killers, and there's some questionable ingredients in a food item. Yeah, I have a vlog. I have a vlog about it if you want to see. I'll post it here, down here. You'll see. It'll be linked. This kind of gets a little hot and heavy in some ways, and we love it. We love how long the trigger warning list is because that's who we are. That's what we like. We love getting trick or teased. The next book is Lights Out by Navessa Allen. This, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to read this, you better get the audiobook. I would say this would probably be the best getting into dark romance book that you could find. It literally has to do with Allie, who is like a trauma nurse, and she more or less has some nice kinks going on. She goes on to a site that's kind of like TikTok, and she loves looking for masked men. And she happens to come across this guy named Josh who spends his life avoiding the spotlight. But he also loves making mask thirst traps. They tend to link up together, and it gets pretty funny. We love his Batman voice. So, oh, I still remember that. And we also love her cat, which, do I remember his name right now? No. I extremely say if you're into masked men and you love that thirst trap, audiobook though. Read, listen, do both. And the last one is for my freaky deaky carnival lovers, and very dark indeed. That is Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton. Can I just tell you right now, there's a song I've been listening to and it's been making me want to reread this book like ASAP. I don't know why, but yeah, this is at the top of the list. Before I get into what this is all about, this is literally the first book you would have to read before getting into Haunting Adeline. This has to do with a girl who grew up in a traumatized life, and she goes to this carnival and takes over this house to the point where she actually knows like the inside walls and how to get in there and around and everything else. And she can smell bad people. Like when bad people come in and she knows that they have done something bad or are about to, that she can smell them, and then she murders them. And then we get into some sexual stuff. But I'm not going to go any further than that. You have to read it to find out if you're into that. So if you want to be a carnival baddie and get all dark, then I suggest this as well. And I also love the audiobook. So if you came to my door this Halloween, which book would you hope to get? And please let me know in the comments. I'm dying to find out which one you would pick. And if you love this idea, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow book witches. And happy reading and happy hunting to my lovely friends. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.